everyone and welcome to this video guide for all the first aid games in FNAF Help Wanted 2. The Scrap Baby game is by far the hardest, so most of my clips will be from that level. This game is all about keeping noise down and staring at scary animatronics. The best way to deal with these animatronics is silence whatever's making the noise, which I'll get to in a bit, and at the same time look to see which direction it is coming from. This is very important in the Scrap Baby game as she moves quickly, so every second counts. Something to be aware of is I did find a bug that usually happens in the Scrap Baby game, but it can happen with any animatronic. If you are looking at the direction the animatronic is coming from when it first starts to appear, then sometimes the game will not register you as looking at the animatronic. So what will happen is that even though you are looking at it, it will keep coming towards you and kill you. Luckily, there's a quick fix to this. If you look away and then snap right back to looking at it, then it will begin to retreat. This bug usually happened to me when Scrap Baby approached from the curtain, since a lot of the time when you're doing an operation, you are looking at Helpy, which is also in the direction of the curtain. So I ended up dying a lot to her whenever she approached from the curtain, because I would look at her, but it wouldn't register and then she wouldn't retreat and would kill me. So remember, any animatronic should start retreating right away as soon as you silence the noise and you are looking at it. If they are still moving towards you once you have silenced the noise and are looking at it, then look away quickly and then turn right back to the animatronic and it should start retreating. This bug can happen with events as well. It just doesn't happen as much because you're usually not looking at that direction when they spawn. So what makes noise to attract the animatronics? Well, first we have Helpy, and he is the noise source that you can control, as he will only scream when you are doing painful procedures to him or hurt him by mistake. Basically, anything that sounds like it would be painful will be painful and make him scream. For example, any operations that require the use of a hammer or bone saw are most likely to make him scream. But also, if you randomly hit parts of his body with the hammer, that will also make him scream. So, try not to injure your patient for no reason. Now, what can also make him scream is using the wrong tool in an operation, such as when he has the cloudy eyes, you're supposed to use the disinfectant spray. But if you use any other spray, he will scream. And something else that can make him scream is if you eat his candy instead of giving it to him. There is a little achievement you can get for that, but just know it will draw the animatronic's attention if you do that. Some of the procedures that will make Helpy scream is giving him a shot, stapling a wound, or, something as little as sawing his leg off. I won't go over every procedure, but if you are confused on what to do, just scan his injury and the TV will show you what to do. A quick note on the stapling wound part. I found sometimes if you put the stapler exactly on his wound, he will not scream in the first and second minigames. But in the Scrap Baby minigame, he always screams when you're stapling his wound up. So I'm not sure if the first two levels are bugged, where if you staple it, he doesn't scream, but that's something that was happening to me. Now, what do you do when Helpy screams? Well, you will want to silence him ASAP to avoid certain death by placing this yellow gas mask on his face. How the gas mask works is you can grab it and just place it over his mouth and it will stick and stay on his face. When Helpy is done screaming, the mask will automatically pop off. However, if you touch Helpy's body with anything that has to do with the procedures, such as the hammer or using a wrong spray, the gas mask will pop off and Helpy will continue to scream. So make sure that once you have applied the mask, it is all hands off the patient. Do not touch him until he stops screaming. Once he is quiet again, you can resume painful treatments. One thing to be aware of is that the bone saw procedures seem to cause the mask to act a bit weird. I have had the mask just pop off even though I stopped sawing his leg, and this caused me to die a bunch of times. Due to how unreliable the mask is during bone saw procedures, I found that holding the mask down onto Helpy's face prevented it from coming off too early. Just make sure you do not touch Helpy with the bone saw at all, because it will make the mask bug out even more if you're trying to hold the mask down and saw him at the same time. Your best bet on the bone saw procedures is listen for the sound of the animatronic approaching and stop sawing. As soon as you hear that, then place the mask on his face and do not touch him. Once he has stopped screaming, you can resume sawing. Now for the second way sound is made, in the Lefty and Scrap Baby games, the TV will occasionally glitch out and play a loud commercial. You must stop this ASAP by grabbing the remote on your left and pressing the trigger button to mute the TV. I have found these glitches can happen at any moment, so always be prepared. They are not limited to only happening during procedures. I have had the TV glitch when I give Helpy candy, when it's transitioning to the next procedure, and even at the very end when the game is about to end. Make sure to always have the remote within arm's reach, and don't throw it around because it is quite easy to lose. Something that can help is always holding the remote in one hand. However, some procedures will require you to use both hands, so this isn't always possible. One important tidbit is that glitches do seem to have a cooldown where they do not happen in quick succession. There will always be a few minutes in between each glitch. At least at the time I am making this video, this is true. So if you're ever worried about the TV overlapping with Helpy screaming, you can always wait for the TV to glitch, mute it, and then you can safely continue with the procedure because you won't get another glitch for at least another minute or so. Remember, there is no time limit during this game, so there's no punishment for taking your time to complete these procedures. You just cannot be killed by animatronics. Next, there are a few procedures I do want to point out because they are not as clear about what you have to do, or they're tricky to do, or there's just a nice little tip for how to do the procedure. The first one is repairing Helpy's eye. This one is super easy. Before you even touch the broken eye, just grab the replacement eye on your right side and then hold it up next to his face, and then with your other hand quickly grab the broken eye and then put in the new eye. And if you do this really fast, Helpy will immediately stop screaming. So there is no need to use a mask for the eye procedure. Now, by far the most difficult procedures are going to be the two bone saw procedures. What you will have to do is continuously saw at the dotted line, even though it looks like nothing is happening. Eventually, the saw will cut off your target, but I swear Helpy screams way louder on these ones than he does on the other ones, and that makes this procedure the easiest to die on, paired with the buggy gas mask bits I mentioned earlier. The best way to do this procedure safely is, when you are sawing, listen closely for the animatronic sounds. As soon as you hear those sounds, stop sawing, slap the mask on Helpy's face, and figure out where that animatronic is coming from. I also recommend never doing a bone saw procedure if you think a glitch is going to happen soon, because that definitely can kill you. Another procedure I want to point out is the defibrillator one, where you need to shock Helpy. Now, the first time when I played, I tried rubbing it on his stomach and looking for a button on the machine. I did not realize that you had to push the trigger to administer the shock. This next procedure I want to talk about is a pretty rare one, where you have to replace Helpy's lung, and I think you can only get it on the Scrap Baby night, but I can't, 100% confirm that. For this one, you will use a hammer and just hit Helpy as hard as you can in the chest with this. Doing so, of course, will make him scream, so be ready with that gas mask. Once his chest is open, all you have to do is grab the lung that is sitting on the table and do a quick swap out like you do with the broken eye. Now, what's different here is that Helpy does not scream when you're removing a lung, so this is actually a pretty safe one to do, even though it looks very complicated. Now, if you have any questions on any of the other procedures that can occur in the first aid minigame, let me know in the comments below so I can help you out. The next thing I want to let you guys know is there is a second achievement you can get in this game, where all you have to do is grab a part of Helpy. It can be one that you recently took out of him, or the replacement parts on the side, but all you have to do is you want the animatronic to get really close to you and just chuck that part at the animatronic. You will get an achievement for trying to throw a Helpy body part at it. Now let me show you how I beat the first aid Scrap Baby game. Okay, so I'm gonna move a little fast here just because I know how to fix everything. If he has the cut in the arm, that's the armband and the stapler, and I put the mask on right away, and look out for animatronics. And then the scabbed knee is just the disinfectant spray and a band-aid. But first I'm gonna do the shock. And you see how fast I'm putting the mask on him there. And now we spray the knee and put the band-aid on, and that's the first round done.
The operation was a success.
And of course I just grabbed the remote just in case the TV glitches, because it's probably going to happen soon here.
The patient is suffering from...
So first I'm going to just spray that knee. There it goes. So I spray the knee because then I can just put a band-aid on it right away. Oops, that's not the thermometer. Where is it? There it is. Put that in his mouth. Okay, we need the yellow pills, so put that in there. Good to go. Okay, quick eye swap. Oh! For some reason, the eye got stuck there. But all's good. So first 2 rounds done. Easy peasy.
Now, give the patient a candy. This candy is legally
And
binding.
you can see me always having the remote now.
Next scenario.
Alright, so we got 2 bone saw procedures, which this is the hardest one, is if there's 2 bone saws. So the first thing I'm going to do is the lungs, because it's the last round anyway. Pop that open and put the mask on. And then we just swap out the bad lung. There it goes. I'm holding the remote in my hand. You can't really see it that well, but I was holding it there just so I can do a quick trigger on it. Now, since we just got a commercial, we won't get one for a bit. So when I take this bone saw out, I just have to be ready with the mask and... Oh, okay, let me swap hands because we're going to do the head here. So as long... See what I mean by the mask bugging out? But anyway, you just do this. Oh, so right there, it bugged. Baby wasn't retreating initially when she first spawned, so I did the quick look away and look back. Now I'm speeding it up here because I'm super paranoid about the TV glitch, so I'm waiting for it to happen. Okay, there it goes. Alright, now we can continue sawing with the mask ready. And I am holding it onto his face. It's just more important to look at the animatronics in this situation. Eventually, we'll get this off, but these bone saw missions are definitely the hardest. But as long as you do this, yep. You see, I looked away and then looked back again there because, again, she was bugging out. But as long as you do the stop, look, and mask ASAP, the bone saw missions are manageable. And all I did there was take out the old brain chip and put in the new one. So now we have to saw off his leg, and yeah, we have his nice cap there. Again, I sped that up so I could wait for the commercial. Alright, so now, again, mask in one hand, saw in the other. Let's saw this leg off. Just be very careful here. Scrap Baby is super fast. We gotta be very quick on looking at her. Okay, there's gonna be another commercial soon, I feel like. So I'm waiting here, you know. Take your time. This is not a timed game. You have all the time in the world to complete the procedure. Alright, so now we should be good to continue sawing. Alright, the leg came off, so now we can put on the peg leg. And I'm grabbing the remote just in case the TV glitches out, and we put that candy in his mouth. And look at that beautiful Helpy. We didn't even put the top of the skull back on, but it's okay. That is one happy Helpy. So I hope this guide has helped you out. If you have any questions, comment below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more guides.